I left in here by myself. After they open up, and then I have to start it. Post afterwards. It's all right. Then there's that key in there too. I was locking up.
Oh, yeah.
Do they still have that key over there?
Yep.
Hello, Larissa. Hey, Happy New Year.
Hey, Julian. Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year. Yeah. Look, I gained a whole bunch of weight over the holidays. I tell you, I must have ate 5 times a day. So we're getting sold. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're just going to wait a few more minutes for some more folks who may join us. We might have to arrange our camera. Can you hear me? Larissa? Can you hear me or no? No? The mic's probably not set up.
Okay.
There. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. I can really elevate my voice when I have to. All right, kids, sit down.
You watched the Golden Globes?
No, I watched hockey.
Did you hear about the Golden Globes?
Well, I'm not really into the Golden Globes or the Academy Awards or.
Well, you missed out.
The Grammy. I'm not much of those, but I do watch.
Lily Gladstone won an award and introduced herself in Blackfoot.
Yeah, he said, okay, to go out.
Ah, so
Hello, my name is.
I understood all of that.
Yeah.
And then she thanked her language teacher, the late Edward North Pagan, and like, now if I ever win some award, I'll make sure that I thank you.
Edward is actually a Batsipigani, but then he married into Amskabipigani, then he just lived down there.
Ah.
I know him, the late Edward North Pagan. He's the late, yeah. Hey, all right. Hey, Sue's back. Look who's back.
Hey.
There she is. Yeah, we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes and then we'll talk about. Well, what's that Gladstone's name again? I won an award. Lily. Gladstone.
First time I've heard Blackfoot.
I know. I see the recording. It's all on YouTube and everything. She says, "Okay, you stood down to be back. You don't do. I'm scared to be gone." She said, I love you. I am the descendant of the Blackfeet and Irish.
Sometimes.
So we moved the camera over here soon, so that.
Do you want the
Wait,
board over?
yeah, over here. I think I work better this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that this works.
Start on this side.
What's that? Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, that works for me. I'm just gonna bring it a little bit closer though. How's everybody here at Friendship Center? Everybody had a good holiday?
Yeah, good rest.
How long did they close for? Yeah,
On the second.
on a second. They have an elders meal.
I know, we're actually having one on the 19th.
Elders meal?
Yeah.
For the community?
Yeah.
It's like Christmas / New Year's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had like a Christmas dinner. Christmas.
Yeah, I've seen that. They had children's they had a children's festival of some sort there.
Yeah.
Look at your phone.
Yeah, my game is glitching.
Oh, man, it's been a good turn off. I've seen a movie called Leave Earth Behind. It's something to do with cyber attack. North America. That was weird. But it was also kind of scary too, eh? Yeah, cyber attack and nothing worked. Phones, there's no like electricity, nothing. Even like the vehicles that are like they're all computerized and that, everything just shut right down and people were stuck out in the country. And it's chaotic and there's no transistor radios or anything. These planes were crashing all over the place. And bombs was being set off in New York City. Well, there gotta be some more people. Invite. Press that invite button. Hey. Anyways, I went to lots and lots of dinners, as you can see. Oh my goodness. I think I ate a turkey and a half. And I ate lots and lots of other stuff. And Napi was good to everybody. Napi came to our house. Yeah, he dropped off a whole bunch of gifts for the kids, and yeah. Hey, this is getting pretty long. Yeah, check that out. It's gonna be my new braid. It's gonna be my power. Where did Larissa go? It's just us now. Maybe she has to go somewhere. Oh, wow. So you're a graphic designer? You do web pages and stuff? If you were to design a this on a t-shirt or something with these letters, what would it look like? If you were to use native stuff in that, but it would be like that. Want to put them all? Well, you know what that means, right? Blackfoot comparison. They all put them on t-shirts. Somewhere like golf t-shirts or even like just regular t-shirts. Nice big letters. When I was working at Safeway, we had a person in there. There was a summer student. Well, not a summer student. Yeah, he was straight out of college or university. He was into the media, and he made our Safeway sweaters. They had a nice big S like this, with a spear down the middle or something like that. How it went. Really nice.
Was the one that created
Ah, trying to think what his name is. Jared? Garrett Wolfchild? Jared Wolfchild? I think he's a comedian now, but he used to be in radio arts. Hey, Larissa, you're gonna be my only audience for tonight. Oh, Heather, hey,
Yeah.
Happy New
Hopefully.
Year. All right, we got two.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in Blackfoot, when we say Happy New Year, we say Itamito do.
Dami do.
Yeah, you gotta kind of the last part, Itamito do. Oh, yeah, you just have to kind of Itamito do. Months, the new year, months. And that's how you say Happy New Year. Itamito do months to ye. Itamito do months to ye. That's how you say Happy New Year. And of course, it's a new concept, right? You know, when you started being colonized and now you started adapting to the lunar calendar that is now, and the days of the week, and we had to, you know, recognize all those special days during them. And of course, a big one, we call that the big holy day. And then about 7 days after that, then we celebrate the New Year, months. And we say, if we say we're happy to arrive at the new year. When somebody tells you how old are you, we say, how many winters are you, right? That's what we're measuring is the person's winters, not the years and the winters, right? Me, I mean, this is actually my 65th winter. 65 years. Yeah, this is my 65th Christmas. Yeah. I tell you, my first Santa Claus was not the Santa Claus that you see in the malls. Mine was a drunken Santa Claus. Yeah, he was drunker than he was just kind of comes dancing into one of the community halls and stand off, but he looked nothing like the Santa Claus that we're accustomed to, like red and beard. It was just like he had these dirty old jeans that were so old they shined. He had gum boots. And that was it. That was the Santa Claus, and he was drunk and he was raising hell. Oh, so that was my Santa
Is
Claus.
that my cousin Dee Dee?
Oh,
My cousin Dee Dee. That's
oh, you know what? Like this is way back in about 62, 63. I think I was only about 3 or 4. So I had no idea who Santa Claus was, but I knew that there was some, you know, there was a character for Christmas, but I never thought in the world that the Santa Claus that I would see was drunk. Hey, is that the norm in up north? You and your reindeer, you guys just drink all the time. Okay, so Blackfoot. I was thinking way back on how language is acquired. You and I, we speak the language of English, right? We don't speak Canadian. We don't speak, you know, the language that we occupy, right? It's English. You know, it comes from, you know, the mother country of the colonies that was here, you know, the 13 colonies and so forth. You know, the history has it that we had the loyalists and we had the, you know, the people that kicked out the English and so forth, but English, right? And it was also too French, you know, here in Canada, recognized the 2 official languages in that. And of course, French comes from France, right? It's not born here. But right here, we call our language Ni Si
A basin.
Sin. Ni Si Sin. What does that mean? It means the true language. How do you spell language? Language. I can spell Blackfoot, I cannot spell English. So in Itzipochsen is what we say, we call ourselves. Because, and we discussed this, we are Nitsi Pi, the real people in that. And further to that, we are the macro people that are North Americans, the Nitsi Pi. That's what we call all First Nations people. But further to that, there's names that we call ourselves, right? But we talked about that. That was our beginning of our lesson. Gaina, Gaina Kwan, Bikani, Bikani Kwan, and so forth, right? All those people in that. And then we started talking about the importance of animals. We need to study the animals. We need to know these animals because we, as Nitsitapi and that, we live with the animals in that, right? And the animals tell us stuff. You know, the animals, they tell us that, you know, this month or next month is going to be Pite Kisum, the eagle moon, right? Sae Kisum, and so forth. Matsi Kapisa Kisum, and how they behave, right? We would right now, if it was still, you know, in the times of the teepees and that, and the buffaloes and that, we'd be hunkered down in the river valleys, right? So we know about, you know, the flows of the river. We mapped out Okakusatu our environment. Okakusatu means that we observe and we learn from our environment, right? So we know where our hunter grounds are. We know whether winter. Meat Gatester, Red Crow, when he chose the reserve for the Black tribe, the Gaina, he chose the Belly Buttes because that was their traditional wintering grounds. So all through the Belly Buttes and that, probably the Old Man River, which runs, or the Belly River runs into the Old Man. So those were all our wintering grounds and that. So, you know, when they started documenting some of the stuff that was happening here, in particular, of course, the big war, the last big war, you know, between the two tribes and that. Well, it happened just right out here, right? The Old Man River is called Napi River. Because Napi is the old man, right? That's what they call Napi, the old man. You know. So we know about the animals and so forth and that, and how we adapted into this new 12-month lunar calendar. In Blackfoot, we call our days, our months according to the moon. So right now we are into the moon of January, which is called the Omkitsu, which is the old moon, right? Omkitsu. And there's another one, they call it the Katu, which is called the scarce moon. So it all depends on the, if you had a good hunt, you'd have plenty. He would say, oh, well, you know, it's Omkitsu, it's the moon, it's the old moon, and so forth, and that, right? It's all nature-based. Everything that we talk about, everything that we describe about, it's a descriptive of what's happening. It's a description of understanding the animals, and it tells us that, you know, the weather's going to change. Right? So when we started doing our days of the week, they started introducing the days of the week and that, so we had to develop our own days of the week. And we talked about that. Today is Sikatuikstus, right? Matuni Natuikstus. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so, you know, so we had to develop our own days of the week so that we can now live in a society, a world that counts a 7-day week, a 12-month calendar that have that are numbered. Each day is numbered, right? And the year, right? The year is 2024. So it's switched, right? And then of course we had to start registering. And then of course, by registering ourselves, and we know that we are Canadian citizens. We are born on this month, on this day, on that calendar year, and we measure our years, right? Was it important back then? Well, probably not. If you ask some of the old guys, even my grandfather, so when were you born? He doesn't know exactly what month of that, but he'll tell you the season, right? And the calendar moon. I think my grandfather on my maternal side was born in the moon of the long rain, right? But he doesn't know an exact date on that. So when I started registering in these schools, or with the Indian agent and so forth, and that, they'll say, okay, well, you were born in June, and that, we'll just go June the 15th. Just like my dad, when he's got 3 birthdays, November, December, and January, 3 separate birthdays. You had IDs, you had a driver's license that said his birthday was in November, he had a birth certificate that said that his birthday was in December, and he had another document saying that he was born in January. And that. So when they were deciding, when they were making those applications for residential school, they went down the middle. Okay, we'll go with December. That seems to be your birthday. So that was his birthday. So he doesn't even know his exact birth date, but he knows that it's in the wintertime. So language development. You and I acquired our English through listening. Lots and lots of listening, right? And through our listening and through our observations and so forth, we're so blessed that we have 2 of each of these and just one of these things right here. So we used a lot of our listening skills, observation skills, and we were all considered our surroundings and that, right? We start to understand and pair, oh, this is my dad, this is my mom, and these are my siblings, and this is my home, and so forth. And you start to recognize your body, that you're hungry, and so forth. And, so all those things through observation. And through observation, we start to learn a language, right? I'm hungry. And then, of course, when you start to grow up in that, your parents start to give you boundaries, right? They start to give you boundaries of what to do, what not to do. They give you positive reinforcement when you need it. And you take away some negative reinforcement. They'll take away stuff, a little bit so that, you can learn from your actions. You can learn from your environment and that. So all those positive reinforcements and so forth and that. Even your speech, you start to make your speech sounds and so forth and that. Then you get reinforced some more. Hey, oh, I can say these things and that. You started giving directions. You started giving directions to the child and that, right? Take your jacket off. Go put your shoes away. Go wash up. It's time to eat. So those type of commands and that, it goes through their ears and so forth and that. Now we just have to do some action to go along with this new vocabulary that we're giving. So tonight we're going to do some of those. Sue is back. Say hi, Sue. She's over there. Hopefully she sent you all the vocabulary tonight. Just give me a thumbs up if you got them. Did you get them? Gabriel, Zach, Heather, Larissa,
No.
Happy New Year to you all. Good, you got them? Gabriel? Yeah. Sugati, good. Zach, Heather?
No,
Good. Gabriel? Yeah, Zach. Heather, did you get them?
no, I don't think so.
They look just like this, Heather.
Okay. Classroom
Did you
expression.
get them? Well, we call them classroom expressions, but in reality, in that they really are expressions we pass along to our children, right? Start setting up these boundaries for them and so forth.
Oh, I got him.
Hey, ooh. So I call them classroom expressions, and so what we're trying to do with these classroom expressions that we're molding the child now, like he's in his infancy stage, right? He needs the nourishment, we provide those nourishments. So now, he's probably at a toddler, right? Just now beginning to make sounds in English, like the TRs and the CHR, Christmas, and so, those sounds, right? Well, in Blackfoot, it's no different than that. We start to talk to our children in Blackfoot, right? All in Black. So to start making those sounds that require them to develop the Blackfoot language and that, through their mouths and that, right? So you're not gonna hear a lot of R's in their language, or TH sounds, or CH, or the TH and CH, so there's gonna be a lot of S and TSI, KSI, right? And there's that, you'll start to hear that noise in, in the speech. So they start to hear that. They start to hear, the speech of their parents, their native tongue, so to speak. So they start to make sounds in that. And then, of course, now they're walking. As soon as they start walking that, then you start to provide them with boundaries. So they're not going to get hurt, but at the same time, you're creating those boundaries so that, they learn from their environment and that, right? You're going to go walking into the wilderness, and they're going to be looking over a cliff. Hey, sky, watch out. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to do with these classroom experiments. There's a whole bunch of them. And one in particular that seems to be prevalent, and it's not in here, but I'm going to spell it over here. And it's very easy, and I say this lots. It's going to be our first word. I hopefully you guys can see this. Did you see that? It's not on your list. What does that mean? It means
Hurry up.
hurry up. Neat takit. Heather neat takit. Zach neat takit. Gabriel neat takit. Larissa neat takit. We're going to town. All right, hey, neat takit, y'all. We're gonna go to the Jack Singer Hall and we're gonna go watch the Wiggles or something like that, right? Or if your wife or somebody's holding up the bathroom, knock on the door, neat takit. We gotta get ready. Neat takit. That seems to be something that's always prevalent, especially if you're a teacher. Neat takit, thanks, recess time. Or neat takit, we gotta go to music. Neat takit, we gotta change classes and so forth, right? Everything's so. The bosses of us are right over there. Can you see that? That's our boss right there. I'm pointing right at it.
The
We
clock.
follow that. That indicates our day. That indicates what day it is, but that's our boss right there. Right? And if you're 5 minutes late, I'm just trying to hurry up and that, but oh my goodness, my vehicle, my battery died and so forth. But remember that word, neat, neat, that you go to a powwow and they're asking all the dancers to neat,
Neat takit.
Yeah, neat. So say that
Neat takit.
again.
Neat takit.
Yeah, neat,
Neat takit.
neat, neat, neat. Yeah, that's what that means. Hurry up, neat. So if you can use that lots in your everyday, use it, right?
Neat
If you're
takit.
child dressing up to go to school and the bus is gonna be here in about 5 minutes and you're running behind time. Neat, it's a neat. Your bus is about to. Okay, now let's go and just start referring to our classroom expression. Got it, everybody? Neat. I'm always saying that. It's one of my favorite Blackfoot words. Neat. See, that's what everybody was saying about Christmas. Christmas, neat. Neat there. Looking at my gifts under the tree. Neat. So number one, everybody, ma go beat.
Mako beat.
Ma go beat. Now the last part is spelled it's spelled P-I-I-T, but it's pronounced beat like that. Okay, so you say ma, of course, and then go, ma go beat. Say it like that.
Mako beat.
Beat. Mako. Okay, now, if you have like an audience that are standing and are singing the national anthem, you know, after they sing the national anthem, the whole crowd, and you say to them, ma, go, and then this is how you say this, as a plural. Beak. Now, so this is your singular, and this is your plural. Okay? Yeah? Okay, Mako beat. So Gabriel, you come into my home. Mako beat. And I show you where to sit. It's Mako. When you bring your family, Larissa, come on, beat. Mako beat. Beat. Right? And those are some of the things we ask our little ones. They seem to not sit still, right? Hey, I have a toddler that's 2. They doesn't seem to want to sit, jumping on the bed, jumping on the couches. Where's this outside noise coming from?
Mako beat.
Yeah, Mako beat. You got it? Everybody, before we move along?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, we are still into sitting. So we want the child to sit still. Okay? You know how there's some children that they got ants in their pants, right? You say X like this.
X.
X. Like this.
Excupate.
Excupate. Yeah, excupate. Yeah. So what you're trying to tell that child is to sit still. The key to this word is still. Excupate, right? Excupate would be a plural. It's the same part. The only thing that's going to be different is the plural part of it. I mean, the suffix. It's going to be beak and beat. Okay? So all of you, excupate. Okay? And that's what happens when you go into a classroom. You know, the first time you walk into a classroom, it's time for you to teach. Fukex, excupate. Sit still, right? And it's a command in there, right? Sit still, it's excupate. Excupate, X, right? Just sit still, excupate in that. And that's what you want in your classroom, huh? You know, you never get to have those things. And I have lots and lots of our children. You know, their diets, sometimes they get a lot of sugar in their lunch times, and by the time you get to them, they're all sugared up. Hey, excupate. Okay? So, Mako beat, excupate, excupate, right? Plural. 4 vocabulary words, all sitting, right? We're still sitting. Now, another thing we ask of our, and this is one of the things that I was told that is very young. Our grandmothers, our aunties, they're always telling us this. Is. And this is kind of a isa, nu, beat. Just like that. Isa, no beat.
It's son.
Yeah, the beat is we're still sitting. Ma go beat. Isa, no beat. And that means sit and listen, right? That's what we're telling our audience, our children. Isa, no beat, right? Especially if when you have a child and we have a visitor that come in, right? And he wants to be part of the audience, right? He's going to be a good storyteller. You want that child to, you know, to listen, right? Excupate, right? And always point to your ears when you say that. right? Sanopi.
Hey, Julius,
Yeah.
I'm just getting a lot of feedback from someone's mic. There's just so
And
much
it's not mine.
No, it's someone else's mic is open and there's just a lot of background noise and it's like keeps
I know,
like interfering with what you're saying. I can't. It's
know,
hard to hear you.
Seems like, there you go.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better.
Thank you.
It just seemed like I was, like I'm talking, there's nobody else in here but me. Everybody else took off to the gym.
No, yeah, it's someone's mic was open and there's just something going on in the
All
background,
right,
right?
everybody, let's go back to
good.
the top.
Okay.
Mako beat.
Mako beat.
beat. Mako beat. Mako
Mako
beat.
beat.
Mako beat. Possible. Mako beat.
Makopi.
That's it. And Mako beat. Plural, right? Maybe have an audience, you know, and everybody's standing just before your dinners. I don't know if you guys all stand and do a prayer. Oh, okay, Mako beat. Or, you know, where everybody's singing the national anthem at the hockey game, and then the announcers, oh, okay, Mako beat. Everybody sits down, right? And then, of course, our second one is excopy, excopy, excopic, right? Excopic, excopic. Really have to listen, and when you're pronouncing these words, and you have to make sure that you are talking to a singular, so you would say beat. It's plural, beak, you know, like a beak, okay? So we really have to make sure that, you know, you listen to sanopi, right? When you hear these words and that, because I think that's the key, is you listen to the suffixes and the prefixes of each of the words and that, you know, then we know that it's a singular, it's going to be a plural, if it's first person, second person, inclusive first person, exclusive first person, right? Animate, inanimate, and so forth and that, right? So that's why we have to have these, you know, the listening skills. Because Blackfoot and that, like we talked about this when we were registering our to the Indian agent. Some of the names out there are wrong, right? Crying head, you know, that's one that's very wrong. Sanutuka, it means red paint. He was combing his hair with that red paint that they used to paint our faces and that, right? So it's supposed to be Sanutuka, red paint hair, crying. No, Sanutuka. And another one too is probably Bruce Kid. I don't know where that name came from, but they said it's something else, but it's not necessarily Bruce Kid, but whoever was the Indian agent gave him that name. So, you know, we have to really listen to the, you know, the suffixes, especially the suffixes, you know, the prefix and this. There's always going to be a root word, right? Beat, right? Excopete, excopic, right? So the suffix is going to be the plurals and the singular, and the prefix is always going to be the to sit still or to sit. Okay, Marco. Okay, moving along. Excopete. All right. So we're going to move over to number 10 and 11. Okay. Sammukit. Sammukit. Look at me. Right? Sammukit. That's what we want our show is sammukit. You understand? Sammukit. Right? That's another command that we have. And number 9, go to number 9. Remember and you guys remember that?
Is here.
Here, okay.
Is there?
Is there. Okay. Now, you see that chair I'm pointing at right there? Can you see that? That chair way in the back?
Amo, yeah.
That's
Umako.
supats. Okay.
Super.
And this one right here, I'm pointing to this one right here. That would be So the difference in and is the close proximity to the speaker. Subatsis. Pointing to that one away from me. Subatsis. Okay? So, samokit, beat, mako beat, right? So we're gonna ask that person to sit over there. Stupid subatsis, right? Yeah. Go sit over there. Stupid subatsis. Away. Stupid subatsis. Or if it's arranged that you don't have to point. Stupid. Just do stupid, right? So here is a sentence. Listen very carefully. Sakumapi. Stupid subatsis. Subatsis is chair. Kikon. Stupid subatsis. Anybody?
Yeah.
Say.
The boy sit over there, and then the girl, you can sit here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you know the names of these people, okay, here's one. Larissa. Stupid subatsis. Gabriel. Stupid subatsis. So where would you be sitting, Larissa? Over there? Or
I'd be over there.
over there, exactly. And you, Gabriel, would be sitting right here, right? Yeah, so that's a different, you really have to be aware of what we're being asked of, right? And you can picture and right? You think about, okay, it's away from the speaker, right? And close proximity to the speaker, right? That's how the language works, and I can almost see it. Right? Here's another one of and Punagomita. What's that? What did I just say?
That horse there.
Horse there.
Yeah, there.
That horse.
That. Yeah, that horse.
That
And
horse.
I'll put skin on. Oh, I shouldn't use my hands.
This cow here.
Yeah, this cow. Yeah, exactly. This and that, right? So when we're talking about and just make sure that we're going to be using those things quite a bit. Those two. Okay.
So can you use the same prefixes for like you know how to say like look over there? Because I've heard they say like amyok or olmyok, right?
Oh, okay. I knew that was going to come up. Remember, there was an animate and inanimate way of saying stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we're going to say that person, you say mayok. You say mayok, Gabriel. And then my jacket, muyok. Mok. Muyok. Right? There's an animate and inanimate say. So there's Joseph over there. You see him?
Yeah.
Mok, Joseph. And then mok, my remote. Can you see the difference? Umok.
Umok and amok.
Yeah, amok.
Okay,
Yeah.
animate. Okay.
Yeah, animate and inanimate. Animate, umok. Amok. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. And then that chair, subatsis.
Subatsis.
Sakkumapi.
So it's
Sakkumapi.
Yeah, so this is
Umi
animate and inanimate
for
what they
inanimate
say.
and uma for animate.
Now, is animate.
Uma.
Yeah, ami is inanimate. I just telling you, just like all through the holidays, all throughout the 10 days of holidays, not once did I meet anybody that spoke Blackfoot. And I went to a lot of community events. I went to some dinners. I went to a couple powwows. And the only person that I knew that spoke Blackfoot was behind the mic announcing. And his name is Travis, plaited hair. You guys all know him. He does all kinds of stuff out in the community. But he was the only guy that I knew that spoke Blackfoot. That actually go over this. There's just not enough people out there to dialogue with. Even myself, I really have to kind of start thinking about, like I'm starting to lose some of those words, description, and some of those words, and even just everyday Blackfoot. I'll say, the dikes to sew up, What are you going to do there? But this is how I'm gonna say that, right? This is a, tomorrow I get the boot Lethbridge. The dog get the from groceries. And that's how Blackfoot's spoken nowadays. It's not a continuous thought all in Blackfoot and that. There's English in there. I've been up with Stag the Boo Calgary. Mr. Pinakustag the Boo Edmondson. He, I've been known Kimberly. So those words are interchanged as part of our English now, right? I just told you I'm going to Calgary tomorrow. The next day I'll be going to Edmonton. And then you're gonna go play some hockey in Kimberley, right? Whereas in Blackfoot, I was saying, the poor, Mohkins, this the puppy na kusidai the poor, omkuis. Estu kusidagate the poor. I'm not too sure what there's a Blackfoot word for Kimberley. I'm gonna go play hockey. So, you know, so those things, and it's really hard to find anybody out there. You know, given our listening audience and that, I'm just hoping that somebody, you know, chimes in that speaks Blackfoot, because we had some at the beginning of the year, I think September, there was a wolf child that was part of our audience and that, and she was really, well, because there is a female way of talking, you know, Heather, Gabriel, Larissa, you know, we really have to be conscious, myself, so that I don't overstep some of those boundaries, because, you know, there's a male version of how we talk to each other, and the females themselves too. They themselves have their own mannerisms and how they would talk, even their, you know, the use of their hands and so forth and that, right? If you know that there's a really good story between women, and all of a sudden they'll go like this. I don't know, still Googling. So you know that was a good story. Yeah. But if the men, if they were talking amongst themselves and that, what they do is that they'll chuckle, you know, oh, really long laugh, right? But the women, you know that there's a really good story of one of them going, looking around, sort of, you know, and always, and that's just the mannerisms that, you know, the women, they themselves, how they talk to each other. And we have to be really mindful of men, right? Especially us men, because we really high regards for the women, right? We're almost in a sense that we're matriarch, our society, as opposed to our patriarch, right? So when the colonists started coming in and that, they kind of threw our societies a little bit sideways and upside down and so forth and that. Because, you know, the man's the head of the family in that, in you know, in Western thought, or so to speak, the old, you know. So that was something that happened, you know, we had to sort of change our societies into a more patriarch society as opposed to matriarch at one time. Because our clanships, and we'll share our clanships. It's not based on your dads, but the mothers. Your excuse me, your grandmother on your paternal side of things. So we come from what they call the many tumor society, or the many humorous society. And there's all kinds of clanships, and when you start talking about them, and that you'll chuckle at some of the names. Okay, here's another one. Go to number 12. Boopuyit. Boopuyit. Everybody?
Boopuyit, stand up.
Yeah, stand up. So it's boopuyit, right?
Boopuyit.
So what do you think the plural would be?
Boopuyik.
Yik. Boopuyik. Audience, boopuyik. Boopuyik. Okay? And it's not in here and that, but there's something I should have put in here. It's boch sa boot.
It's there.
Is it there?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's just on the list.
Yeah, boch sa boot, right there. Yeah. Boch.
Yeah.
I think I put too many O's there. So boch sa boot means come here. Now, this part right here, singular. Boch sa book would be a plural. Okay? Boch sa boot, boch sa book. growing up, living out in the old agency district, we had some missionaries. And we call these missionaries the many wives church. Kochki means the many wives religion. And of course, you know who they are, right? Anybody?
Mormons.
Yeah, the Mormons. So they came into our area, right? And they come knocking on our doors. And we had some missionaries also from the whole gospel that showed up in that. And we just loved them because holy smokes, they would come and they'd show us little slide presentations. And the slide presentations and that had music, right? And then we'd shut off all the lights and we used the wall and that, and it'd show us all these slideshows and that, right? I don't know if you guys remember, but they used to have these, there's still photos. And when I think it beeps on the cassette, then you just switch to the other one, right? You have to manually switch them over like that, right?
Wow.
But it's a film, right? It's all spooled up like that. So you say, book, but then the opposite of that is
What's the boot?
Mr. Boot. There's two S's, Mr. Boot. But that's what my grandpa used to say, Mr. Boot. You know, my grandma said, we're not in the kicker, so let him in. I used to say it's a premium. So they let him in, but my grandfather just didn't really like their, I don't know if there was a dislike because of the religion, but it's, then he would go to the other room. Then all of us kids would be in a living room enjoying their food because they bring us snacks, right? And then we'd watch movies. We learned about Joseph Smith and so forth and that. Pretty neat, yeah. And the Nephites and the Lamanites, us, and you know, the whole shebang and that. But yeah, it was kind of like alcohol. So box of boot. Mr. Boot. That's what my grandpa would always say. Mr. Boot. Mr. Book. You know. So Mr. Book would be plural. Mormons would show up and then Mr. Boot. Oh, okay. Let's go to now it's all behavior management. We don't want to manage the behaviors of our children. Try to use these words in that call out to your children, or if you're going to call out to somebody, hey, you don't say, hey, Boxabut, call out there to Heather, Boxabut, Larissa, Boxabut, Gabriel, Boxabut, Stuppy, right? Zach, Boxabut, Mr. Boot, no, you know. You know, so if you don't want anybody knocking on your door, remember the Avon?
Yeah.
Avon?
Yeah.
Knock on your Avon calling. Mr. Boot, right? Another one is they used to kind of show up at our house too, and that was the Jehovah's. And then my wife would say, Mr. Boot, go away. And that's what, you know, and Mr. Boot, it's really not something, go away type of thing, you know. It's a very subtle way of, you know, telling that person, Mr. Boot, you know, go away type of thing. And, you know, usually there's no question asked. They'll just go away.
So now,
You see that?
stop it.
I'm stupid.
Beat. Beat.
Everybody, knock on the door. And you say, Pete.
Beat.
Yeah. Who's there? The guy is stupid. And then, of
Zach.
course, come in plural is beak.
Beak.
Beak. Beaks. Come on, beaks. Beak. Geek Onyx. Beak up with Skinex. Beak. Right? Asking them to come in plural. Beak and beak. Okay. Where are we? Son of beep. Oh, of course. I'm going to do this one here. Close the door.
Oh, keep
The only thing in this room that's parallel to the, you know, the language of a TP is a door.
Oh yeah.
There is no other words in Blackfoot that we could take here and bring it into into a teepee. You know, there's because you come stand the window, right? The ceiling, of course, the walls and so forth. And we have no words for walls, floor, right? Even a chair and that. The only word that's parallel that we can use right here is the door, right? So, yeah, gitsim. And you say, git. And this is how you say this. Git. Not with a K, but it's that
G
G sound, right? Git. Gi. I'm going to spell it the way it sounds. Gi. And then sim. Git. Gitsim. Ah, Bugex. Git. Gitsim. Hey, Nina. Git. Gitsim. Heather. Git. Gitsim. Fix. Tui. Right? Yeah, 6, 3. And then, of course, when you want to open the door and say, Ga, I'm going to spell it the way it sounds. Ga, yin, ga yin, net. Ga yin, ga, ga yin, net. And of course, gi, sim. Now, the only word that I can use right here in this room is the door. Nothing else. Yeah, it's him. So when you think about the transition that we had to make from a teepee, nitoyas, to now living in dwellings that are houses, not buyas, and you think about further to the vocabulary. So now we are in a house that's separated by walls, right? So, you know, like, oh, okay, we have a room in here. This is a place where we sleep. Oh, you go. And what's this place? Well, we call it a living room. What do we do here? You sit and watch TV, or you sit and you visit. Oh, so that's the boat where you sit, right? And you go to another room and say, oh, what's this? Oh, this is your bathroom. Oh, I know what that is. But what else do you do besides one or two? Well, you wash, you shower, you brush. Oh, okay. This is soap. A place where you wash up, right? That's what we call that. Further to that, then you go to the kitchen. And then what do you call the kitchen? Itoyo soap, where we cook. Okay?
soap.
Yeah, itoyo soap. That's where we cook. Okay. And then some of our homes have dining rooms, right? Well, what's this place? Oh, itapstuyo. This is where we eat. Yeah, and of course, when we say bedroom, itayu go, the same word is used for a hotel, motel. Itayu go. But then we have this is where we buy to sleep. Yeah, so you know, anything with op, it provides us a service. It's something that you do. Okay. Now here's a few. Okay, is a hotel or motel, a place where we sleep. Itoyo, okay, is a restaurant. Itoyo, the op, right? Itowakito, it's a place where we buy gasoline. Itayakito, this is where we put our money, a bank, right? All the op, it is a place where we teach. Itowatsimoiko, the place where we pray, church, right? So the op, we're describing the things that we're going to be doing in this building, right? So the op, as your suffix, your prefix is always going to be what is the act that we're doing, right? Well, this is where you gas up, right? Itoyo, or this is where we eat, you know, the restaurant, right? So the op, so make, you know, those things that you sign up. When you see somebody or hear something an op, it's usually a service that you're going to perform, right? Whether you're going to sleep there, you're going to gas up there. Ito mop is a grocery store, right? And so forth, you know. Campground. where you can't, it doesn't go, right? Where we stop and sleep and rest. Okay, so that brings us to any questions so far? Anybody want to share their experiences through the holidays? I tell you, one of my first and only Christmas that I can remember, it was after my scare of COVID, 2020. I got the COVID in May in 2021 and no, 2020. So my Christmas of that year, and that was kind of like, oh, I just really appreciated family and that. When you get that close, when you're on life support for 10 days and come out of it, the night with the COVID, right? You know, just think, oh, this smokes. And then when you pray, I just had a big lump in my throat because I have 8 grandchildren. And of course, my other family, my new family and that, you know, it was quite touching that I was able to celebrate. This would be my 3rd Christmas after my COVID scare. So, you know, every Christmas for me is like, hey, you know, I beat the COVID and that. And at the time, at 2020, there was no vaccine. I think I just had the 1 shot. And of course, you know, like the language people of that, we had to come up with a word for that COVID-19. So what they say, this is the word, this is the one that they came up with. Because the word, the 19 is in there, right? The 19th illness, number 19 illness. This system sin is when your body's sick and it's hurting, right? Nistum is my body, it's system sin. Not sikaputua, is system sin. 19 illness, and that's what we came up with. That's my word for it, anyways, COVID-19. And of course, Santa Claus came to my house. Did you guys see how I decorated? Did you see it?
Yeah. That was
Impressive.
awesome. I was, yep.
Yeah, that's just, I couldn't get up to my ceiling because my living room is kind of a sunken living room. So when I stand there, it's about 15 feet. And I couldn't get up there this year. And I've got pretty good balance, but the last couple of years, I haven't had good balance on my ladder. I get up there and I start to kind of grab onto stuff, and I'm not going to go up there. I don't want to be hurt. So how was your Christmas, Larissa? So
Oh, it's just it's a coffee.
good, Gabriel. Good Christmas. Yeah.
Coffee.
Sugapi, Heather.
It's 6 to 2.
Oh,
Moose, right?
Moose.
62.
Moose.
We ate 6 to 2.
6-2.
6 to Sue. Is that what you said? 6 to Sue?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Heather, how was yours? Oh,
Dami.
is to go. Good.
Eight Dami.
Itama, eh?
Yeah. Apex.
Yeah, Itama.
Wow.
I went to powwow too. And oh my goodness.
Go.
I ate so much food though. I think I'm trying to get down to my running weight. When I used to run before pre-COVID, I was 185. That was when I used to run. And then when I couldn't run anymore, somehow it really affected this side of my lungs. I still kind of feel it a little bit some days. But yeah, I want to get back to my running weight because 2 years ago, previous to my COVID, I took 3rd in a famous moonlight run.
Ooh, nice.
In my age category. I still have I'm quite proud. I've never won a medal at that. I've always ran that race for years. But 2 years ago, I won a medal, 3rd place in my age category. So,
Wow.
yeah, so I'm quite, and then last year was my first time after my COVID. I ran, and out of 17 in my age category, I took 5th.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's not bad, eh? So I beat all the other old guys, so to speak. This will be my last year running I got to move up a whole age category next year. I think
I'm
I
on day 6 of no smoking.
Yay.
Me with my running.
Yeah,
Yes, Scotty.
yeah. So that's what I want to do. I want
Ah.
to get back to my running weight and that. Joseph over there, he's a runner as well too. That's him right there.
Nice.
Yeah. He runs pretty fast. Okay, so going back to the top, Mako beat. Don't look
Sit
at
down.
your screen, look at me, Mako beat. Say, what's in English?
Sit down.
Mako beak,
Sit down. Plural.
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 Good. Excupik. Excupik.
Still.
Sit still.
Yeah, excupik.
Sit still, all of you.
Yeah, all of you sit still, right? Isanupit.
Sit and listen.
Sit and listen, right? Isanupit, right? Isanupik.
All of you sit still and listen.
Yeah, all of you, right? Now, this one here, I should have included this and that. Is Maduya Gopi. Go and sit
Maduya
down.
Go.
Maduya Gopi. Maduya means go and sit down. Maduya Gopi. Okay? Go and sit down. That's another command, of course, in that. Maduya Gopi. Okay. Anno stupid.
Sit here.
Stupid. Sit where?
Here.
Good. Stupid.
Sit over there.
Over there.
Yes, sit over there. You know, talk to me, son of. Oh, it's kidding. Anno stupid. Stupid. Beak. Okay. Now here's one. Of course, you always want the attention of your audience. Some will get. Right?
Look at me.
Yeah, look at me, and of course, I'm talking to all of you. Some will kick.
Some will kick.
Yeah,
Some
kick.
will kick.
Kick. Some will get and some will kick. Lots and lots and lots. Okay. Now we should have done these ones here. Number 11. Istiyet.
See it.
Istiyet.
See
To make
it.
this thing clear, this part is ISS. And you all know this word, right?
Yes.
Okay. Say that.
Is kiss.
Now take out the K and I'll say
Is.
is. Okay. Is. A lot of the words are going to start off with that. Is. See. Yet.
Is. See it.
Is. See yet. Say again.
Is.
Is. See yet.
See it.
Is. See yet.
Is.
See
See
yet.
it.
Is. See yet.
Is.
Is. See yet. Is. See
Is.
yet.
See it.
Yeah. And then plural. Is. See
Yick.
yet. Right? Is. See yet. All of you. Is. See yet. Some of you. Is. See yet. Listen,
Yeah.
right? Istanopi, right? Excopik, okay? Istiak. Listen, right? And of course, wait, what is that?
Stand up.
Makopi.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Wait. Makopi.
Go get.
Sit
Yeah.
down.
And then box the boot.
Come here.
Mr. Boot.
Go away.
Beat.
Sit.
Come in.
Yeah.
Oh,
And of
beat.
course, yeah, Mako beat and all that, right? Beat and beak. So that's our, I didn't really want to throw a whole lot of commands at you and that. Next week, we're going to start doing our family.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing family and that. Then you're going to start to really look at how the indigenous people, particularly, the Blackfoots, the Six States, how we describe our family. And then you'll come to understand why we have many wives, right? We also too, it's not something that's indoctrinated within the religion and that. It's a custom, it's something that's culturally accepted within, the societies and the camps and that. And we'll explain that further next week and that. But we'll start off with the nuclear family, your mom, your dad, your brother, older brother, younger brother, and so forth and that, right? and of course grandparents. And you'll find that we don't have a word for first cousin, second cousin, third cousin, and so forth and that.
Yeah.
We just say Nixu Kwa. All
Our
the
family.
relatives, Nixu
Yeah.
Kwa. Nixu Kwam, my relative. Yeah. So we're gonna do that next week. And I'm gonna end off early because you know it's I don't know where you guys, but it's just really starting to get windy out there with the roads. We had quite a bit of snow out our way. And the wind's blowing like crazy and it's pitch black outside. Any questions? Hey, who is Napi?
Santa Claus and also.
Hey,
Omkina.
yeah. There is Napi.
old man.
Yeah. And also the old man, right? The old man Napi. Who else out there can do that? And of course, elves.
What are they? Pukita Peaks or no?
Pukita Peaks, small people, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, what do you
Puka.
call his reindeer?
Napi Ute Sixi.
Uta 6.
Uta Six.
Utas, Napi Uta 6, right?
Uta Six.
Yeah. It's the same word we use for like if you have horses and these horses perform tasks for you. If you're in a ranch or if you're at a farm and the horses perform tasks, nutas, those are my horses in that, right? They work for you, nutas, right? It's like the ibita, you know, those horses perform a task for you. Oh, nutas. And all of a sudden now, oh, you can race.
Elk dog. Elk dog.
Elk dog, yeah, that's right. What a comment. That's the
Uh,
literal, elk dog. So, you know, like in the Christmas, of course, Christmas tree. Anybody?
What is it again? Bachtok.
Bachtuk.
Bachtuk.
right, Bachtok, like the logical kind.
That's the same word for the mountain.
Logical.
The
Fine.
mountain lodge, you know, the trees
Yeah.
we use for the lodge. Bachtuk, yeah. But then when you, that's the tree, right? And then when you take out all the bark and all the limbs and that, and it's just a pole, and when it's that, then it becomes a monstam. That's the teepee pole, monstam. But it comes out of a bachtok. So, ladies and gentlemen, next week, be prepared to start doing family. And of course, there's going to be a powwow coming up in February. Mark these dates, the 23rd and the 24th. It should be a Saturday, Sunday in February. And it's over at the NMAX, right here in Lethbridge. NMAX Center, of course, is right here. It's going to run for 2 days. And you're all welcome. And come watch
thank you.
a little bit of powwow. And I'm
Oh,
going to talk
awesome.
about, you know, the whole concept of powwow and that. There seemed to be this ideology or just thinking that, you know, that everybody is a native person if they powwow and they sing and that. It's just a subculture, right?
How much does it cost to get in?
Oh, yeah, there is an admission in that. I think the last year's admission.
Last year's.
Huh?
There was.
What
Last
about
year's
this
was
year?
Last year.
out of hand. It got a little out of hand there last year.
I know, you know what happened last year too, is that there was a stabbing at the end of the.
Yeah.
No, it just kind of like, it really got out of hand. I know there are young people in that monetize, monetize Skopik and that, you know, those teachings and that, right? They seem to be thinking about.
Peace powwow. Not the piece of me powwow. Peace powwow.
Yeah, it's International Peace in Spa.
Peace.
Powwow. Peace in Spa, right? Yeah, so if you guys see me over there, come say hi. And we'll visit. And we'll talk Blackfoot, Sagapi. Yeah. And it's going to be over there. And, you know, so I'm going to keep reminding you guys of that. And if you know anybody else that we can teach this Blackfoot to, that it's being recorded as we speak. So the stuff that we're sharing with you in words. And they're gonna be alive for the next 100 years or so, right? And the stuff even at the Galt, oh my goodness, that's gonna be around in that. Did you ever go to the Galt Museum? At the front entrance of the Galt Museum, they have a mural of pictures. I don't know if you've seen that, right? In there is me. I'm on that mural. Yeah. So if you visit the Galt, go look over there and you'll see that part of all these people from Red Crow, Senator Gladstone, some of the more famous people there, shot both sides. Who else is there? But anyways, I'm right in there. Oh yeah, Crowfoot, of course, is in there too, and Colonel McLeod, I think, is up there. Yeah. So Heather, Zach, Larissa, Gabriel, number 8. Oh yeah, wait a minute. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, listen to me quick. Okay. Ni tsinska sim, Mr. Delaney. Ni tumch do kena. Again. Okay. Ni tsinska sim, Julius. Ni tumch do kena. Okay, Heather, you want to go introduce yourself?
Okay. Nestunan otakitsawaki ni tutukena.
Good. Zach.
Okay. Nitsitkasim Zach or okay. I've heard like okay Nitaniku Zach too.
Not Nitaniku, Nitsinskasim.
Nitsitkasim. Okay. Nitsins.
Ni, and then you say this word. You know how to say since, right?
Yeah, Nitsinskasim. Okay.
Yeah, Nitsinskasim. Yep.
Nitsitskat Nitom tu mokinstis.
Yeah. All right. Larissa.
Okay, ni kasim fixiaki na tu Jasper.
Oh wow. Gabriel.
Okay, ni kasim Gabriel, ni tomach tu ochketo.
Okatos. Wow. Hey. Yeah. Your last one. Yeah, you. Yeah.
Who? Kara?
Yeah. Your turn.
Oh, Scott C.
No, say Oki.
Okay, it's Scott C. Kara Cryinghead.
Yeah.
It's since I can't remember Blackfoot. Blood.
Okay, now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do. I'm from.
We don't do.
That
That sounds like say do.
No, not say do. You say what time it is. Do.
We don't do.
Yeah. Do.
Lethbridge.
Okay. If I told you do Bigani, where am I from?
Picani.
Gunny,
Yeah,
rocket.
See, Bigani is, of course, the people, but it's also a place.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? And so, you don't do Siksika. Where am I from?
I'm Siksika.
Sika.
Yeah, right? It's a place and a people, right? They don't do Ska Pipikani.
You're from
You're from the Blackfeet.
Yeah, from the Black
Montana.
So you start to visualize where these communities are from, right? They don't do Ghana. So in your head, okay, they're from the Mini Chief community of southern Alberta, just outside Lethbridge, right? They don't do Bigani. And in your mind, if you know where Bigani is, it's just west of Fort McLeod, near Pincher Creek, right? They don't do Ska Bigani. So we're out of the country now and we're into Montana. In your mind, you can picture that's where I'm from, right?
Yep.
And then you do sika. And you start to think about, the area. Oh, okay, the Bow River runs through there. Oh, okay. And then we think about Amskapi Pikani. Did you know right now they're having a water shortage in Amskapi Pikani? They have no
Huh.
water.
Oh,
They are struggling. I'm not too sure where they're getting the water supply in that, but as we speak right now, they're having no water issues. That's climate change, right?
Yeah.
And they live right by the glaciers.
Matitsi Oki.
So this dude, do Bikani. Actually, no, Ghana. And who are the Ghana?
the Bloods, the many chiefs.
There are many chief people. Oh, and by the way, thank you for the Gabriel. Where are you? Gabriel. Thanks for the I got this from Gabriel. Look her up.
Aww.
It's a cream,
That's
right?
that's my husband's business. Yeah, it's a cream.
It's a cream. Hand cream or face cream?
Yep, head to toe.
Yeah. I get so, I shave. I get these wicked razor burns, and this is gonna help, eh? Yeah.
What's your husband's business?
Gabriel.
Sweetgrass Skin Co. Sweetgrass Skin Company.
Yeah, this is Sweetgrass Skin Company Pillars. Now I'll just show you something right here. This is her card. And did you see that?
Hello.
Did you see it?
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I got. Thank you, Gabriel. I don't have acne, but I'm sure it's gonna soothe my my razor burns I have to deal with every morning. Did you know that indigenous people are not very hairy?
Yeah,
They
just on their
can't
head.
grow a beard. There's no way in the world that full-blooded Blackfoots could grow a beard, like facial hair. And there's not a whole lot of hair on us. Like in fact, if you look at my arm on that, it's just like there's no hair on that. And the only facial hair that I have is just this little part right in here. So it's totally impossible for us indigenous people to grow facial hair. So if I was playing hockey and I want to grow a playoff beard, it'll just grow right in here. Just right in here. I can never grow a beard. And my mustache, if I ever grew a mustache for Movember, it just grows right here near my mouth. I can never grow a yeah, it's true. And there's not a whole lot of hairy Blackfoot people out there, because we're not very. And then when I said, did you shave? Think of shaving as this, like you have a razor blade and you shave. And in Blackfoot, meaning, did you pluck your hairs out of your face? That's what that is. Yeah, did you pluck your hairs out of your face? That's why that's what they say when we shave. Because there's just so many, just maybe there's about 10 hairs on some of them. And they pluck them and that's it. They don't have to shave forever. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next week. We'll have family. We're going to start doing family. And then, of course, we're going to do a lot of other stuff and so forth and that. But if you have anything, any questions,
The 22nd?
or anything like that, now is the time, or at the end of the class. It could be anything. It could
Okay.
be something
22nd?
TV, or
I had a question.
Yeah, Larissa.
So obviously Zach and Gabriel and Heather and Care, if you didn't see it, obviously Lily Gladstone won the Academy Award, and she spoke in Blackfoot, and afterwards
Golden Globe.
the Golden Globe, whatever, one thing for people who do stuff. Okay, not important.
Sorry, I work in
there's
the
an
film
article.
business.
Oh, okay. Well, more important to you than she said that she uses pronouns she and they as an act of decolonization, because in most indigenous languages there's only a gender neutral pronoun. And I was curious, obviously she speaks Blackfoot, like, do we have he, she, or is it the same
It's the same. We don't have
Okay.
a she or a he. So okay, let's say for instance, we say,
Ni.
oh, you have to indicate the person that's eating or the person that's running.
Right.
When you just say running, oxgasi, it's a he or she's running. There's really nothing to say that she or it's a her. Or
So
it's a
there's no, okay, that's cool.
yeah, yeah. There's no, yeah, she's correct on that. Yeah.
The
Alright.
reason,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
reason
there's
why
no he or she like in our Blackfoot to say, okay, she's running. Oh, okay. No, he's running. Oh, what do you mean?
I think
You know,
the
it's very
reason,
neutral and that's it. So that's why names are so important. You have to put a name or a person in front of what you're describing. A name of that person, or you know, it's people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, this is what you said. Oki niksu kuwa. Nistu nitaniku bitaki. Ni do ska pipikani. Ki tseksamat. Oh, ki tsekakkomim kuwa. I love you all. That's what she said. And I was saying, so, I can understand her. She's speaking Blackfoot. It's really neat.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually see it. I just seen it on YouTube.
All the highlights, yeah.
Yeah, the highlights. Yeah, I was watching the won the basketball game between the Raptor and Idaho. And all of a sudden this came, oh, hey, that's that movie I went to go watch, the Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
And their May is called the Flower Blossom Moon. Our May is what they call that too. Same thing. So they must have moons like us Blackfoots and that. So who knows what the June is and July and so forth and that. Because they are actually, you know, the what are they? Like Osage? Yeah.
Osage, yeah.
They are like they're plains culture like the Blackfoots. You know, they're plains. Just like the Comanches and the Sioux, we're all plains, and you know, the Cheyenne, plains Indians, right? They
Sohquita
must
Peaks.
measure their days in moons, right? Yeah. Sohquita. Sohqui
Yeah.
is the plains, right?
Yeah.
That's what we are, plains people. Sohquita.
Mm.
And that was pretty neat. You know, saying, oh, okay, your flower moon. And that's what we call our moon of May. Yeah, so hey, thank you. Happy New Year to everybody. And you're gonna see this grow. Hopefully by the time we get done, I'm gonna braid it. That's my project for this year. It's gonna grow.
Can't grow a playoff beard, so grow a playoff
Yeah, it might just be my playoff hair, not a beard. So, okay, when you say good night, someone will say, ach, sigugu. Say that.
Yeah. Ach,
Sigugu. But most of us will say, ach, sigugu.
Ach, sigugu.
Ach,
sigugu.
Gu, right? Gu is night. Yeah, like the moon, gumi, gitsu. Gitsu is the light, right? Gu is the night. Ach, sigugu.
Sigugu.
That's how you say, or you say, me, right?
Kita matza.
Kitak is the future. He is second person. Matsen. Mosia. Kita matsen no pua.
Kita matsen ohwa.
And achsekuku.
Itami tohto achsekuku.
Yeah, itami to months to you. Happy New Year.
Sigugu.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna somehow shut this off.
Kita matsen ohwa.
Okay.
Thanks, Julius.
Good night.
Night.
Achsekuku.
Aksaguku.